So, alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hold on. Can everybody hear Logan? Let's make sure we have that out the way right now. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast for Boss Rush Games. I am LeRon Dawkins, and tonight pressing square beside me are a couple of special guests here, because we have in the number one chair, Dan Murphy from Nintendo Pal Block. What's up, man?
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
And welcome back, Mr. Logan Corkins.
What's up? How's it going?
Land Party Czar.
Land Party Czar, Dreamer of Dreams, you know, there's a whole list.
There's a whole list.
We don't have all day.
This guy, he acts like he's the MVP for Boss Rush Entertainment. For real, guys, how's it going tonight? Dan, you're on the road, right?
Mm-hmm. Here in sunny San Diego.
Nice. Have you, we've got PlayStation coming up, but I want to ask you real quickly, have you had any good food out there?
Not really.
Not really? You just get up, go to work. If something hits your plate, you eat it, and then you just go back to work and go to sleep.
Well, kind of, but I did finally try In-N-Out Burger, which is a California staple, and I gotta say, it's pretty overrated in my book.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it just wasn't impressive. I don't know.
I can't recall. I've had In-N-Out before, but I can't recall how far back in my lifetime it was, because it's definitely... Dan's an East Coaster like I am. As a matter of fact, we're probably like 3 hours away from each other, Dan. Like yeah, on the map. And there are no In-N-Outs, at least on this part of the coast. Like, I mean, it's funny on the East Coast, from Maine to about like the lower part of New York, you can find all the stuff that everybody talks about. Then there's this bleak landscape from DC through Maryland, down to Virginia, down to North Carolina, and South Carolina, and then once you get to Georgia, then all of a sudden, those places show back up again. It's weird.
Wait, what's up in Maine to New York? That's where I grew up, and we didn't have anything.
You didn't have anything? Well, I hear people from way up there talking about all this good food and whatnot, or all these chains and stuff like that. I mean, shoot, there's no White Castle. Is there a White Castle in Maryland?
I don't...
I think that...
It's considered good, though?
I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying all these chains that people are always talking about.
I'm not trying to be a sarcastic asshole like normal. White Castle, it's okay. I mean, Harold and Kumar had that whole thing there, but I feel like of the big chains, it's kind of the weakest one. Like Whataburger and In-N-Out, top god tier.
Okay,
yeah.
I really like Whataburger. I'll eat that.
Whataburger is great. We actually have one of those out here in Hampton Roads. We actually have it's the only one I know of, but the only problem is it does not remind me of the Whataburgers I had in Texas.
Yeah, Whataburgers in Texas are at a different level.
Yeah.
Kansas City's finally getting a Whataburger. We're getting 2 of them here.
Oh yeah. Hopefully they're good, because sometimes the first 1 or 2 that pop up are not the best, and then you get someone that acted a transplant from one of the older stores, established ones, and then they know what they're doing. All right, well enough of the pre-PlayStation stuff. So just in case, Crash Bandicoot is set to make a splash this year, and Lady Gamers will get their comeuppance finally in Mass Effect. But am I going senile? Have you guys heard something about an E3? Have you guys heard about that?
Yeah.
Wait, in this economy? What?
Yeah, it's digital 3 days. It's it could be better than it was last year.
You know what?
It's great for gaming.
Well, that is true. That is true. If last year said anything, huh?
The second the next batch of stimulus checks comes out, everybody's going to finally get their hands on a PS. Well, okay, hold on. We hope a PS5, but some of us haven't been able to get their hands on one. Yeah, gaming's always a thing. People go in debt just to get the next Call of Duty. I mean, Sad, but true.
Yeah, but you know what? Stranger things have happened. Like the pandemic has been great for gaming, though. Like that is the truth. Yeah, like I mean, shoot, Nintendo's probably had its best year ever since the launch of the Wii. You know, thanks to the pandemic.
If you can sell 30 million copies of Animal Crossing, you know something's good.
Yeah, for real. Apparently, folks still can't be heard. The other guys are super quiet.
It's ironically never been a problem in my life.
Why are you guys super quiet? You know what? Let's test this right now. I put the gain all the way up for you guys. Speak to the audience real fast. You know what? As a matter of fact, you know what? Dan, tell the audience about yourself.
Oh, we're doing the first day of class thing. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How's that sound? Anybody hear me well now?
Logan, you're always you're one of the
on the beach and just staring at my future.
Still silent. Okay, what gives? What gives? I don't get it. Like, of course, after I do all these adjustments and all these settings, you know, like now, like crap wants to be all stupid. Let me see something here.
I actually did take a long walk on the beach on Saturday.
Oh yeah?
By the way, Kansas City. We haven't talked about this in a couple weeks.
Okay, so here's my question. Because if I say it, it's going to sound really bad. So, did you guys feel like they didn't come out there to play football Sunday night?
100%. Yeah. I mean, Mahomes did. Everybody else,
Yeah. Yeah, I watched half of the show. I made it to almost to halftime, and then I had to break off because I was recording Standard Definition episode 2 with Corey.
Nice.
Yeah. So I caught it, but I didn't believe that. I had a funny feeling, you know, the Buccaneers were going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be a spanking.
Yeah, Andy Reid just didn't have the great game plan, and his clock management, especially in the first half, was awful. And then, you know, it doesn't help when nobody can catch the ball. I mean, Mahomes was giving it every effort that he could.
Yeah.
Just nobody could catch.
He was just running for his life. I think they totaled up like over 400 yards he ran behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 457 was the game chart. Most in NFL history. Since they've been, most in postseason history since they've been tracking it, which was about 2004.
I gotta say though, Mahomes, that guy can take a loss. He's a class act, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I think it helps too when you know that there's a pretty damn good chance you could be back next year. I mean, aside from like the Chiefs have a weird decision to make with Mitchell Schwartz, who was out injured. He was the offensive lineman who they really could have used. Eric Fisher was the other one. But, do you walk on Eric Fisher? What do you do with Sammy Watkins? Those were really the only two questions coming into this offseason. So it's like Veach can obviously draft maybe one more offensive lineman and then work on the defense. The D-line could use a little bit of help in the linebackers. I still don't believe in Anthony Hitchens.
So being a Chiefs fan, I don't know, because I don't watch them week to week, but I felt like they coasted through the entire season and then just showed up cocky in the Super Bowl. Am I wrong for thinking that?
You're not wrong. I mean, there were moments of greatness, but I don't necessarily think it was the players. I think it was Andy Reid, because like when Andy Reid pushes his playbook, like when Eric Fisher got a touchdown like week 3 on hooking, or I can't remember, the salmon, I think was what they called that play, and then like the weird Anthony Sherman like play that they did as well. The Chiefs did what they needed to do, but they never really felt like they had to go 100% because, frankly, I mean, when you're 14-2, you didn't have to. They played well in the playoffs. I mean, I thought they actually played one really complete game against the Bills to get here. I think the big thing, though, was just when LTD, who is a doctor now in Canada, when he opted out, that was a big loss to the Chiefs' offensive line. You lose Mitchell Schwartz week 3. You lose Eric Fisher in the Bills game. You lose, I think it was a total of 3 offensive linemen to injury and then 2 to opt out. I mean, that's your entire starting offensive line. when you get guys like Allegretti, who they just drafted, and he's good, but he was never supposed to get all the snaps in a game. I think that really plays a huge factor as far as the protection and the game plan going forward. Because like Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a great game, but he just couldn't get it. He couldn't get the shove like he normally does. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, offensive line, I think, is the biggest factor for why the Chiefs lost. Defense, yeah, I could have stepped up, but the Chiefs' defense hasn't been great all year.
It's crazy though, because I mean, like, they were Super Bowl champs last year, and honestly, I was one of the people, like, I was like, I don't really, it's not going to hurt my feelings no matter who wins, but I was really hoping Kansas City had this one, and because I'm also a Patriots fan, so I'm good with I'm good if Tom Brady gets another ring. I'm good, even though technically he's not repping my team anymore, so it doesn't matter. But if he gets another ring, good on him, stuff like that, and like, he's getting so many accolades and stuff like that, that it is what it is. And, Mahomes has a future ahead of him. I mean, like, that guy's been shining the last 2 seasons and stuff like that. Like, when my personal trainer is like, hey, like, take a look at this guy, it's like, hey, like, he's something to watch.
I will give credit to this. I know Austin talks all the time about how annoying Kansas City fans are. It's cool. It's true. Kansas City fans have actually taken this loss a lot better than I thought they would. And be kind of cool to see. Chiefs will be back. It's cool. We're talking about that at Trash Talk this week. It's going to be good times.
Cool. All right. This is episode 23 of Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast for Boss Rush Games. Each and every week we come together with our friends around the internet to bring the latest news, rumors, games, and general discussion in the world of PlayStation. Crossroads is live on twitch.tv/Exodus803 Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, apologies for being late tonight. And we are glad you are here for in a part of the conversation. You can always make us feel special about ourselves and give us a follow at PS_Crossroads on Twitter, and hit the subscribe button, as well as share, rate, and review us wherever you check out our show. If you're unable to join us live, make sure to head over to youtube.com/BossRushGames or any of your favorite podcast services every Thursday to listen to the show. Don't forget to check out our growing family of podcast shows available on BossRushGames.com. All right, guys. So Dan, I did not brief you for this, but tonight's PlayStation topic, what's on your PlayStation? Milkshakes bring the stationaries to the yard. That's right. We're talking about some of our favorite desserts tonight, the milkshake. And so, I didn't actually put any specialized question here, so it's going to be what's your favorite milkshake, of course. How much of a glutton are you when it comes to milkshakes, and anything else that we can think about. So who wants to go first? Who wants to tell us what their favorite milkshake is?
Dan, I'm gonna let you take the lead, man.
Okay, I'll handle this one, I guess. So I don't typically go for milkshakes. However, when I went to In-N-Out Burger, I heard they had some of the best milkshakes out there. So I had to have one. And I had a vanilla milkshake frap thing, and it was pretty good. But that's probably the first one I've had in 20 years.
Dang.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is milkshakes not your thing?
No, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm not a big ice cream fan.
Okay. There it goes. There it is.
So, said Ed had the worst takes ever. I think it was 2 weeks ago on the Boss Rush podcast. First one. Okay, Dan.
I know. I've said this to my fiance, and she's threatened violence. So.
Your buddy David says root beer milkshakes from A&W, which are good. I love a good root beer float, but yeah, a root beer milkshake. Yeah, we used to have A&W at the mall out here, and man, like it was an exercise of willpower. Just to not, because I used to work in the mall, so it was an exercise of willpower not to take both my breaks and go down there and get a milkshake and like onion rings and all that other stuff. Okay, but I mean, we're not gonna hold it against you. Like everybody's got a thing, man. Logan.
I understand. I'm a heathen for it too. So.
No. There's worse things. Like when you turn around and say like you hate like apple pie and stuff like that. Then we might have to look at you a little funny.
When you say Into the Spider-Verse
like on Powblock the other day, people were talking about liking black licorice. licorice. So I think I'm not.
Oh, whoa, hold on. You and I joined forces in the chat for that one, remember? We were like, what is wrong with these people? Like, okay, who abused them to the fact that they think that black licorice is a delicacy?
Even Ed didn't like black licorice.
You know what? I only give him half. I only give him half the credit. I only give him half the credit on that because the way he talks about how he can't wait for Halloween to come around for candy corn, I'm like, dude.
See, that's the thing. Like, if you like candy corn, I think you have to like black licorice.
As a matter of fact,
still don't make it right.
As a matter of fact, I honestly think that candy corn is what kind of equalizes black licorice, but not by much.
Let me put it on this too. Not only did they talk about liking black licorice, I believe it was David who said he found black licorice dots. The two candies combined.
I want to find this stuff. Like, black market for terrible candy?
I'm sure he gets it on the dark web because there's no way a store.
No sensible store that likes not having profit.
I expect to show up on like Good Disco Morning and like, oh, we didn't know these were still made.
The expiration date is 1989. Good.
Oh man! Oh god! No. Be unapologetic about it. We're all big boys and girls at Boss Rush. We can take it. Logan, what's your favorite milkshake, man?
I'm trying to recover from
this. See, we don't need Nelly because Logan's about to fall out of his chair. We don't need Nelly tonight. We miss Nelly though.
Like, hey, this is a podcast I want to be on with Austin. Hell yeah, I'll be on. Oh, damn it. Kidding. I love you, Austin. So my favorite, I have a Steak and Shake right by my apartment. Mm-hmm. It's like 2 blocks down. Steak and Shake just makes good. It feels old fashioned, but there's also a place called Winstead's in Kansas City. This is an old school 80s diner. They have like 3 or 4 of them in the city. And they have like dirt cheap prices too. I mean, I think you can get a tall milkshake for like $2.50. It's awesome. But they use the real ice cream still. It's so good. Their chocolate milkshake is just unbelievable. But if I had a favorite, it would be an Oreo. I love Oreo.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. Oreo, like the Blizzards, or even like what's Sonic? What's Sonic's version of a Blizzard?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's so good. It's so freaking good. And I'm a huge ice cream guy, so.
Yeah, me too. So I think milkshakes is just like the perfect thing because it's an ice cream you can drink. unless of course it's a Blizzard, and then you have to spoon that out. Which, by the way, like the strawberry cheesequake Blizzard, that is my jam. That is it's either that or the Oreo cookie Blizzard.
We're gonna get pornographic on this show if we keep talking like this. It's
I mean, God.
Things are better than sex. Let's just be honest. They're really good.
It's called milkshakes. Unless Dan, we know you're not a milkshake person. So what's your dessert that's as good or better than sex? Because we can't fathom that something is better than sex, but there's always something that we describe as better than sex.
Cheesecake.
Yes.
It's like it's a no-brainer. Nothing beats it for me. Maybe key lime pie once in a while, but cheesecake.
I love key lime pie, but some people do not get the lime to sugar ratio correct.
Oh yeah.
Some people don't. Some people don't do it. I'm not diabetic, but sometimes I'll have a key lime pie from a restaurant, or just like a little dive, and I swear to you, it's like, oh, I can just feel the diabetic reaction coming.
Now, what's the best cheesecake? That's the real question.
Okay, so So back before Cheesecake Factory got all freaking, I don't know, I don't know what's the best way to. Back when they got
cheesecakes comes from somebody who is on weed and needing a really good munchie run. Just call it.
Well, they used to have this. This cheesecake. It was called the. It was. God, I forgot the name because like it's been so long since I've been to Cheesecake Factory, and the last time I went to Cheesecake Factory it was no longer on the menu. But it was basically like a peanut butter pie cheesecake. But here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it though. It wasn't so much. It wasn't really heavy on the peanut butter. It almost came off like a Snickers bar, except in cheesecake form. Yeah, but apparently on the menu it focused on the peanut butter part. But man, it was the most awesome. It was the most awesome cheesecake. I mean, I cook, so you know I make cheesecakes, and every time I go home for Mother's Day, my mom it's always like, "We're going to the store. You're getting the ingredients. You're not going back to Virginia until there's 3 cheesecakes in my refrigerator."
See, I gotta go. There's the red velvet cheesecake is so good when it's done right, and red velvet's another tricky one. You have to get that frosting to cheesecake ratio right on the money. But
yeah,
I didn't do that. It's pretty dang good.
I haven't had a red velvet anything that's like really impressed me.
Sure.
So I kind of just stay away. You know what? With the cheesecake, I'll stick with the classic. I think.
Oh yeah, the traditional cheesecake, yeah.
Like just the best, you know. Put a little whipped cream, maybe some strawberry.
Some type of like exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. Like sometimes you can't go wrong with just the regular cheesecake. I like how we went from milkshakes to cheesecakes, but you know what? Fat kid in me that loves all that stuff. I will get down on it. I will eat it.
I can eat slices of cheesecake like Tic Tacs. Don't worry about it.
But you know what though? Celeste gets us cheesecake lovers because she can throw down some cheesecakes herself.
Yeah.
Woo, woo. All right. Well, you know, I've gotten full just thinking about food now. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to our blurbs for tonight. Here's some PlayStation blurbs the Crossroads crew thought you might be interested in tonight, and I will update all these in the chat as we go along. So, first off, Ghost of Tsushima patch 1.2 is out now. It fixes bugs for the Legend mode. Alright, so the Legends mode for Ghost of Tsushima sees some love with the game's latest patch, bringing with it a number of bug fixes and to smoothen the online experience. Available to download now. The update weighs in at about 683 megabytes. Sucker Punch Productions hasn't detailed what glitches patch 1.2 attempted to fix, but I'm adding the link in the stream chat right now. You can go check it out. It actually has some more of the details of it that actually like our friends at pushsquare.com went and sussed out for themselves.
They fixed the stance thing that's been driving me nuts like the last week that I've been playing.
The stance thing? What stance thing? Because I'm still...
glitch. There's been this weird glitch where you go for like a defensive position and it would put you as a strike. And so it was doing the reverse on me. When I go to attack, it would defend. And when I defend, it would go to attack. It was an issue.
Wait, so was it actually getting you in trouble during gameplay?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm doing New Game Plus right now.
Uh-huh.
And there was one where I can't remember what the trophy is that I was chasing, but I need to hit so many in a row, and it screwed me on my very last one. Like I was riding great, and then the last one it completely screwed me. So yeah, it hasn't been horrible, but you know, one of the things, but the patch did fix it.
Okay, so I guess you're answering the question that you're still playing Legends mode in Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. PushSquare.com had this to say in a recent article. Sucker Punch has gone above and beyond what was required here, delivering a shockingly in-depth and more importantly, incredibly fun co-op experience. The Ghost of Tsushima need a full-on multiplayer expansion? Not at all. But now that it's all here, an already exquisite PlayStation exclusive just became more essential. And you know what? I've been slacking on this because I've actually been waiting for it to price drop. It didn't price drop on anybody's buy two get one free sales, and then there was a 33% sale on the PlayStation Store. But I don't want it digitally right now for my PS5. So I'm waiting.
Dropped really good Christmas.
I know, and I should have jumped on it then, but I had other stuff going on, and I had other stuff I was trying to snatch up and buy, so it kind of slipped through my fingers. But I'm sure I'll get an opportunity soon because usually about springtime, that's when a lot of the titles go on. If they don't go on a permanent price drop, they go on another sale. All right. Our next blurb, Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time is spinning to PS5 next month, and there are free upgrades available for PS4 players. All right, so Crash Bandicoot was brought back in a major way on PS4 to the point that Activision felt confident enough to give him a completely new game. With Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. Developer Toys for Bob took the franchise back to its roots while rejuvenating it with a fresh art style and fun new gameplay. It also released mere weeks before the arrival of the next gen, leaving many to wonder if it will make the jump to the new consoles. Well, wonder no more. Crash 4 is indeed coming to PS5. The PS5 version of Crash 4 runs at a glorious 4K resolution with 60 frames per second performance. Additionally, it will allow you to transfer your save file from PS4 to PS5. That's always a wonderful feature that anyone can put into their game. That is all. I am here for that stuff. And that means you will need to start your quest for the, 106 completion? Is 106%? Yeah. Okay. I heard it was some weird number. I didn't want to believe it, though.
It's weird. Yeah, you get mad at the game in 4K. Yay. This is the most frustrating Crash game I've played today.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that.
The first one is easily the most frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
It's very unforgiving. This one was frustrating in a way where it's like, they just hid crates in stupid places. It just, like you find yourself just kind of wandering around like an idiot in the levels looking for those stupid crates. So, but it's a fun game though.
All right.
If you don't try to 106 complete it.
Alright, what's more, the PS5 upgrade includes support for 3D audio, the activity card system, and of course the DualSense controller enhancements, which have an emphasis on the adaptive triggers. If you already own Crash 4 on PS4, you will be entitled to the PS5 version for no extra cost. We don't even have long to wait either because this game arrives on the 12th of March. So... And stick around because there's some more Crash Bandicoot news that we're going to get into a little bit later on in the show. Alright, next blurb. Guilty Gear Strive beta. The Guilty Gear Strive beta starts next week. And good news, PlayStation Plus is not needed for this one. Bandai Namco announced that Guilty Gear Strive would be starting its open beta on February 19th. And if you've if you pre-ordered the digital version of the game, you'll get access to it 2 days later on February 17th. Did I read that wrong? That sounds like I read that wrong. Whatever. The open beta will run through February 21st, and during the test, players will have access to 13 characters. However, Angimoto and the 15 character will not be playable. Available modes include Versus Tutorial, Training, and Networking. You'll also be able to play the single-player portion against the AI or play online matches against others. So, man, this is kind of a loaded beta here. Betas for fighting games are kind of rare, but when you have... It feels like you're getting practically the game right now, in the beta format. Alright, in terms of good and bad news, save data will not be carried over to the full game. So, basically everything you're doing right now is practice, and you're probably also helping them, figure out, what's broken as far as movesets go and things like that. And the good news is, PlayStation Plus is not a factor in this. You don't have to have a subscription to play online and participate. So, that's always a good thing. Alright, and our final blurb for tonight. Ubisoft enjoys the strongest quarter in the company's history. Just reading that headline is crazy. Because you would think Ubisoft would have already had, really, just record-breaking quarters. I mean, they literally, used to release Assassin's Creed twice a year.
I mean, Immortals Phoenix Rising was a really good push right around Christmas time, too.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. I still haven't taken the plunge on it.
Everywhere too.
Yeah. I think it's still on sale right now.
I bought it for Switch and I still haven't opened it just because I caught it on sale.
Yeah. Ubisoft's most recent financial results are in, and it's been one heck of a quarter for the French giant. In fact, it was the company's strongest quarter ever by far, according to the publisher's official statement to the press. A busy release schedule formed the backbone of this success, spearheaded by the record-breaking Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which, Corey and Josh have been all over this game. The open-world action RPG was joined by the likes of Watch Dogs Legion, which Nelly can personally vouch for that one, and Immortals: Phoenix Rising, which I think Jesse is gushing about that over at Arsenal.
Yeah, Jacob is loving that one too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just picked it up the other day.
Yeah, and the two games that really didn't stand out. That's incredible, because I'll be honest with you, when I first saw stuff about Immortals, I was kind of chuckling and laughing at it. I was like, it's a Breath of the Wild clone, and given that I still haven't started my copy of Breath of the Wild, I can wait. All three titles launched on both last-gen and current-gen consoles, and that, I feel, was the key. That was the key right there.
I think the other key is that Watch Dogs didn't suck the way we thought it was. The way we thought it would.
That too.
I remember the build for that. I was like, this game looks bad. And then I remember Nelly's first reactions were like, hey, no, this is really good. There's a good story here. And checking it out, I was like, yeah, I think it's my favorite Watch Dogs game. It's solid. It's really, really well built.
I feel like I haven't really paid attention to Watch Dogs, because I actually enjoyed the first one. I did, but everybody else hated it, and their hating of it kind of turned me off from the series. So I haven't really jumped back into Watch Dogs. I completely bypassed 2, and I'm kind of lukewarm to Legion. All right, just to wrap this up, Ubisoft emphasizes its powerful catalog of existing products, essentially stating that its older games are still making a lot of money. I can definitely say that, because people are continuing to buy Mario Rabbids Kingdom on the Switch.
Awesome. Yeah, let me ask you this, because I haven't gotten to be on a video game podcast with you in a while. Does Ubisoft and Nintendo need to build that relationship a little bit more? Because every time they do something, it just feels like it goes amazingly well.
I think so, and aren't there rumors about a Rabbids Kingdom 2 coming?
I think so, because, the rumors started just because their Twitter handle changed to Mario Rabbids or something, Rabbids official Twitter. So people are speculating that we might get a second one dropping. But yeah, I mean, everything Ubisoft does with Nintendo is just a hit. Keep them coming, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's a good partnership.
And it's one of those that's actually worked both ways too, because when Nintendo was like, "Hey, we still need Just Dance for the Wii," freaking Ubisoft kept putting it out up until last year. I mean, nobody was making games for the Wii at that point. It's like that's just awesome. That relationship's been amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it's just Riders. Nintendo moves so slow with everything they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sure.
It's people just sit there and wait and expect their favorite IPs to have something new, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna keep you waiting a little bit longer. It just hasn't been enough.
Now, in terms of sales, Ubisoft has the boast that it was the most successful publisher of 2020.
Let's be honest. 2020, the changing of the guard, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X. Did anybody really be like, hey, I know our game of the year was great. Hades is a phenomenal game, right?
Yeah.
It was a pretty down year for gaming, in all honesty.
Yeah. I feel like 2020. I feel like 2020 was also the year that a lot of gamers actually they actually tried different things. They actually tried different things. Because folks were stuck in the house more. So you can only play. Well, I know for me, I can only play Monster Hunter World so much, and I'm saying that being truthful, even though my counter just hit the 800th hour in that game now.
I don't know. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I thought 2020 was actually a good year for gaming.
Oh, it was, yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was one of the most heavily anticipated games that came out. Ghost of Tsushima really punched everybody in the face with how good it was.
Yeah.
The Last of Us Part 2, I know nobody's played this here yet, but, that one's winning awards left and right. Nintendo had Animal Crossing. It had, the Age of Calamity.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Miles Morales.
Yes.
It was hit after hit.
My personal game of the year from last year. My personal one.
Hades is up there. I mean,
yep.
I thought it was a good year for gaming because, people always say that 2020 was down, but if you put in, if you think about the, quality of the games that came out this year, it's kind of the same going through every year, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, for real, though. All right, so, to get the scoop on all these blurbs, links have been provided in our Twitch stream chat. Go check them out, and then continue the conversation with us on our Twitter page at ps_crossroads. And just before we get into tonight's news and discussion topics, Crossroads, we would like to take a moment to report the passing of Robert A. Altman, CEO and founder of ZeniMax. He passed away at the age of 73. News of Altman's death was published on the official Bethesda Twitter account. They stated, "We are deeply saddened to tell you of the passing of Robert A. Altman, our founder and CEO. He was a true visionary, friend, and believer in the spirit of people and the power of what they could accomplish together. He was an extraordinary leader and an even better human being." The statement also added that Altman sent out weekly emails to the employees during the pandemic, and they also shared one such letter with the public. In it, Altman tells employees to find time for themselves during the pandemic and social distancing. "We know many are feeling the pressure of isolation and the stresses related to our current circumstances," Altman wrote. "Again, I urge you to make time for yourselves daily, schedule online social gatherings, and keep your perspective, knowing this will pass. Crossroads just wants to give our condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones of Mr. Altman." All right. You guys ready for the news and topics tonight? Logan, I knew you were going to be here tonight, so the first topic is all for you, buddy. All right. Horizon Forbidden West developer teases storytelling and gameplay possibilities in its dystopian world. I mean, hey. Oh, by the way, Logan. By the way, I restarted Horizon Zero Dawn, and just to make you even more happier, it's on PS5 and not on the PC.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, you're muted.
It's like you're finally waking up and realizing your true destiny. Thank God.
It's funny you mentioned Destiny. It's funny you mentioned Destiny because Corey's working on me to get started on Destiny.
No, don't do that, okay? I love Destiny, don't get me wrong, and I am going to play the new season tonight when we get off this, but no, don't go down that route. Don't go down. Because once you start, you get sucked in, you got to play Forsaken, you got to play all these others. It's like, God dang it, what a life.
But we gotta just mention again how blasphemous it is that the host of a PlayStation podcast has not truly appreciated Horizon Zero Dawn.
I was going to host this show when we originally started Crossroads. I was like, you know what? I think my resume is a little better. No offense, but
hey, you got the Nintendo guy sitting here saying he's played Horizon Zero Dawn.
I swear, no matter what room I step into, I'm always outnumbered. All right, so Horizon Zero Dawn had some of the most completely captivating and immersive gameplay of any of the AAA games that we can think of. This time it looks like we are in for an even bigger thrill with Guerrilla Games' follow-up to the title with Horizon Forbidden West. Although we don't know too much about the game yet, a Guerrilla spokesperson has indulged a few tidbits regarding the post-apocalyptic world. Speaking with Games Radar, a spokesman for the studio teased about how excited the team are for the next Horizon installment, and also brushed upon how the studio is elated about players being able to discover gameplay and narrative choices when they get the chance to explore the game with its main protagonist, Aloy. "We are so excited to spend more time in this world, expanding its lore and continuing Aloy's journey," the representative continues. "There are so many gameplay and storytelling possibilities in this universe, and we can't wait to explore them further in Horizon Forbidden West." Real quick, guys, because I know you guys actually love the game, and I can't really say much because I'm currently playing the beginning portion of the game again for the second time. So, what was one of your biggest impressions about Horizon Zero Dawn?
The original?
Yeah, the original one.
For me, it was like the gameplay was so fresh for me, and like I thought Aloy was just such a badass main character.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those cutscenes, like you really feel for the character. You know what I mean? But pertaining to what you just said too, it seems like this new game might have kind of. Maybe I'm misreading this, but doesn't it seem like it'd be like a Detroit Become Human type thing where you can choose different paths? Is that what they're alluding to?
Yeah, I kind of got that too, and I'm kind of curious how that's going to translate overall in the gameplay once the game is out.
Which, I mean, Horizon has that. There's certain there's certain side missions you don't hit until you either unlock it, unless you hit the big point in the story, and then it just gives you the side mission as a quest you can go into your quest log for. Not every character. You know how in the game it gives you your heart decision, it gives you your brain, your thoughtful response, or it gives you your emotional one. That does play into certain things. In the final battle, there's a moment where if you pick the heart moment, you get a little bit of extra help. If you pick the anger moment, what boss has died becomes a little bit tougher. There's different elements to it already in Zero Dawn.
Yeah, but in Zero Dawn, it's still going to be the same story.
Yeah,
what I'm thinking with this is you're actually going to make decisions that are going to change the story and change the path, which will give it a little more replayability too.
Yeah. As I've gone back and I've played the game again, the one thing I've kept coming back to in just my gameplay is that yes, it's the story that's amazing, but the gameplay is so much fun. Defeating each creature a different way. I mean, yeah, you can go and you can slash at everybody, but it's using your brain and coming up with different traps and different ways to make the game a little bit easier. Especially like corruptors. I've rethought how I attack corruptors now, and what used to be a 10-minute battle for me is 30 seconds is what I did one on the stream the other night. It's there's so many different ways you can go, and I can't wait to see that in Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, and it always felt fresh the entire game.
Yeah. How you defeat a corruptor is not going to be how you defeat a Sabretooth. In Sabretooth, you have to literally study these creatures to figure out, here's how I'm going to defeat it. And I freaking love that element to it. The first time I played through it, I kept a log of, hey, this is how I defeated it this time. It didn't work so well. I'm going to try this again. And coming up with that new plot, coming up with that new scheme, dude, it was intoxicating.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The representative also goes on to mention part of what made the machine combat in Horizon Zero Dawn so satisfying was the puzzle-solving element to each encounter, which you guys kind of went on about that. What is the machine's attack pattern? What is its weaknesses? What strategies are most successful? There was a harsh reality of stumbling upon machines that you weren't quite ready to take on, the spokesperson said. Our reveal trailer showed players they can look forward to the things that they've never seen before, but we'd like to leave it at that for now and preserve as much of that satisfaction for players to discover for themselves. Looking back at last year's reveal trailer, gamers will notice that that players will now be able to explore underwater, which, you know what, I feel like underwater is it's a mixed bag for me. So we'll see how that goes.
I hate it. I hate everything underwater in gaming.
Yeah, right. I get flashbacks of some of the horrible stuff in Metal Gear Solid. Man, I get horrible flashbacks about some of that stuff. Yeah.
Why does Crash Bandicoot Warp come to mind for me? The water levels of that game suck.
Well, we can go really old school and go back to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
we can go really.
I love those because there was a fun element to the Sonic levels.
Yeah, it's called getting those air bubbles and hearing that sound effect.
Yeah, that sound effect that still gives me anxiety.
Or your little 5-second counter.
Yeah.
Let's see. So explore underwater with the aid of a breathing device. Oh, how nice! Which means that not only the vast lands can be exploration playgrounds, but also the depths of the ocean too. There will also be new locations that will see Aloy adventuring through the wild west of Nevada, Utah, and California. Horizon Forbidden West will launch on PS4 alongside the PS5 versions whenever the game releases at some point this year. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long to get our hands on it, but you can be sure we will see more of Aloy and the machines in the lead up to its launch. I can't wait, and I say that as an infidel who hasn't even played and beaten the first one. I can't wait.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I can't wait. I can't wait to find this story. I can't wait to just explore. It's so much fun. And please bring the cauldrons back for this game too, because the cauldrons, it's such a fresh idea of something that not a lot of games have. Mm-hmm. Cauldrons were so much freaking fun to go through and beat.
I haven't. I haven't gotten deep enough in the game, so I haven't encountered that. How far do you have to get into?
There's one in the first 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Where are you at in the game?
The prologue.
18 seconds.
Okay. A little bit further than that. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. After I wrap up the show, I'll play some more.
Really, the first one, you don't need to be that high of a level to face. You'd have to have that anyway. Because a tripcaster, you need a tripcaster, and I'd say fire arrows, and you probably beat it with that. And then just load up on health. Have at least 2 bars worth of health.
Okay.
I hope I can get a PlayStation 5 by the time this.
Yeah, that's my thing too.
Everybody hopes. It's kind of alarming right now because we know right now with AMD facing some hardware setbacks and stuff. The shortages and stuff, and then it's scary to think about it right now. But hopefully, I think some things will pull through for us. I feel like everyone who wants a PlayStation will definitely have one by the summer.
Nice. I hope so.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. Don't hold me to that because I don't have a crystal ball or a magic 8-ball, or I can't tell the future. But I feel like if one thing I know about the landscape of gaming is like eventually the supply hits the demand eventually. Yeah, like it's not always a big drought. Even though like that there was a big drought of the Nintendo Switch that first year. It was like they just couldn't keep them on the shelves. It wasn't like we have right now with scalpers and stuff. Like you just could not find them on the shelves because as soon as like anybody rolled them out on the shelves, like it was like vultures were swooping down on them.
They had scalpers. They were selling those Switches for like $700.
Man, I swear. I don't know. I feel like they're a scourge now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the UK banned them today, so like, heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about that riot that happened 2 weekends ago in Japan with that PlayStation launch. Oh my god.
Dude.
All right, so
controlled launch, but,
is there such thing as a controlled launch? Is there such thing?
No.
There's called postponing it because you know that the pandemic's going to keep going on. And
yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to our next topic here. And guess what? E3 2021. We have a digital event that's apparently going to move forward as the ESA, which is the Electronic Software Association, I believe.
Alliance, I think.
Alliance, yeah, that's it, Alliance. The ESA seeks exhibitor support. All right, so it looks like E3 2021 might actually be a thing this year in the form of a digital event, which I know some people are excited about. I'm kind of on the fence about it, and I'll tell you my reasoning why in a moment here. Game demos and keynotes are part of the proposed event, but there's one major snag for this whole thing. The ESA needs the backing of publishers for the planned summer event, which seems like they're barely trickling in right now. I don't think we've actually, as of yet, I don't think we've actually heard of any major publishers, putting their name on the dotted line for it yet. However, due to hold on, I went a little too far. The Electronic Entertainment Expo, which is E3 as it's known, has historically been at the center of the games industry's calendar. with companies often saving their biggest announcements for the annual Los Angeles event. However, due to the coronavirus pandemic plans for a physical E3 in 2020 were canceled. When the proposed 2020 virtual show also failed to materialize, the ESA promised a reimagined E3 will be taking place in June of 2021. According to E3 2021 pitch documents sent to games publishers as seen by VGC, the ESA has now outlined its proposals for this year's event, which would see 3 days of live stream coverage held during the previously announced dates of June 15th and June 17th. Okay, now real quickly before let me just break this up for a moment. The main reason why I'm not really enthusiastic about E3 as much anymore is because I feel like there was a tonal shift change once we saw like the big three stop showing up and giving keynotes at E3. And, Nintendo was the very first company to decide we're not going to have a keynote at E3. And then the next year, Microsoft did it. And the year after that, Sony did it. And so I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I'm excited that E3 is coming back, but at the same time, it's like, I was more invested in like the keynotes of the big three. So like, if they were at the show, I would be at the show. And that's just my take.
So I think they kind of made a mistake. So I've been to E3 twice. Once when I had a press pass. The other one when I just went as a fan. It was when fans were allowed in. I think that's what kind of ruined a little bit of E3 because the year I went as press, that was so much fun, and the crowds were controlled, and everybody was still there. You could get an appointment to see a specific game if you wanted to, and do all that. The next year as a fan, I was like, this is just chaos. This is just like every other COD out there. I mean, I'd rather just go to PlayStation Expo, PSX, in November instead of go to E3. E3 has a certain love and a certain awesomeness to it. I was in the theater when Sony Santa Monica came out with God of War, that first trailer. I mean,
oh man,
the hype and the feeling of that is like, dude, that is huge, and that's what E3 is about. I think when you add fans to it, I think fans should be involved to an extent, but at the same point too, it should be a little bit more controlled. And I think then you can get the publishers to be a little bit more on board. But then publishers have also seen like the direct system and the PlayStation State of Plays that work extremely well.
Yeah.
Too. So I mean, there's two sides to that argument.
Well, I'm pretty excited for this because I think E3 should have gone digital years ago. Mm-hmm. We live for Nintendo Directs, we live for State of Plays, and we live for whatever Xbox calls theirs. But this is just 3 days full of announcements. I'm sure they're going to release demos on our at-home systems so we can play some of these games. And this is the direction they should have gone in a long time ago, because companies like the big three, they don't want to spend their money being there when they can just put out a Nintendo Direct. So if you do this all digitally, this is going to bring back the big three. This is going to make it a big event again. And that's what I'm excited to see. And I'm really excited to see it all go digital, because that's what they should have done years ago. Every year for the last 5 or 6 years, we just talk about E3 failing and going backwards. And here's what they need to do. COVID forced their hand, and I think it's going to be great now. And they should probably do it going forward if this is a success.
You know what? I'm picking up what you're putting down there. I like that.
Yeah, like the one thing I would also too is like, this is the best thing the Summer of Gaming did last year that Jeff Keighley was running, was have those demos and have that store be an accessible app on all 3 major consoles, where it's like, hey, for the next 48 hours, we're going to give you access to the new update of Fortnite, or we're going to do this exclusive right here. Go in and play the demos just like you would on the showroom floor. And we're going to walk you through with an easier tutorial.
I like it. I don't know. I guess I didn't think outside the box like that, because sometimes I still feel like the publishers themselves, and not so much the big three in this case, but publishers, like, they always have a stranglehold on their IP. I always feel like that. So there's this potential of like, hey, like, we're watching at home, and as soon as we watch the keynotes, all of a sudden like the demos are available on the platforms that we want to play them on. That would be great. That would honestly.
I think that's where they're going, and it's like, Nintendo would release a direct during E3 every year, so it's like, what the hell's the difference now?
Yeah.
So I like it.
All right. The ESA also says it will allow partner companies to remotely stream playable game demos to the media across thousands of scheduled meetings, which is basically kind of what we were summing up just now, with one-to-one assistance from the developers. Many companies have used similar on-demand streaming solutions during the pandemic to allow the media to remotely play their games for preview purposes. In a statement released to VGC, the ESA said it would soon share exact details on this year's E3 show and claimed it was having great conversations with developers and publishers, but would not confirm who had signed up for the event. So it looks like they're keeping mum's the word here, or is either mum's the word here and they know exactly what's going on, or mum's the word here and they're trying to like lull us into coming to the show and then realizing, hey, not everybody's there. Here's some questions. Who do you think is going to make a presence this year at E3? Name two studios or name two franchises. Two gaming franchises you think may show up this year. Go.
Ooh. I wasn't expecting that. That's a loaded question. I don't know who's going to come back. I think in my opinion, I think we're going to see some real heavy hitters come back. Like, we may see Bethesda showcase things for Microsoft. You know what I mean? Like, Ubisoft is now all cocky about how their sales went, so maybe they showcase something. Maybe Nintendo makes an appearance. I
have a funny feeling like we might finally see like a first good look at the Indiana Jones game.
Yep, that was what I
have a feeling.
LeRon, I'm going to put you on this because I know you're going to love this. EA needs to get in people's heart a little bit more. There's a franchise they haven't touched in almost a decade. Dead Space.
Yeah.
And we're just back a remastered. Bringing remastered 60 frames per second. I'm okay with that. If that's what I have to deal with for Dead Space, I will take that. The original trilogy in a remastered pack.
For real, I was saying the same thing Sunday night on standard definition. Like, EA is not really my favorite, but if they say they're gonna remaster, Dead Space, they don't even have to remake it. It doesn't have to have the Final Fantasy VII treatment. It doesn't have to have the Mass Effect experience. Maybe tweak Dead Space 1 to actually have the mechanics of Dead Space 2 and 3, but that's about it. I'll spend $70 on it again.
The other one I would say is Jedi Fallen Order 2.
Yes, I feel like
development. We just don't know what's going on with it. And our first teaser trailer.
Yeah, I feel like that one's come. I feel like if we don't hear about it at E3, we'll hear about it by the end of the year. That's really the way I feel about that one. The only other thing I can think of, and this is just me being a total fanboy, is I think we're going to see something about Monster Hunter 6.
There's an idea.
Huh? Yeah. This quickly? Well, I mean, okay. So here's
releasing in March. So
but Rise wasn't made by. But Rise wasn't developed by the main Monster Hunter team that did World.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, and also Iceborne was done by another team. So like the main Monster Hunter team since World's launch has been working on the next hard installment for the game. And not to say that, like Rise, for example, is not a hard installment. It is, but but technically Rise doesn't fall into the formula of the next generation. When I say next generation, every Monster Hunter game that has a number is a new generation. So the ones that have like just generations or Ultimate is part of the current generation. So Rise is part of the 5th generation of Monster Hunter right now.
Gotcha.
Yep. All right. So you know what? The E3 thing might be a good topic because I was skeptical about it. You guys turned me around on it. I'm actually going to tune in. It happens during my birth month anyway, so why not? All right. For our final news topic, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition has been announced to be more welcoming to women gamers, and you know what? It's about damn time. Before we even get started on this topic, let me just tell you something right now. I would have honestly considered playing Mass Effect as FemShep if by the time the trilogy had came out, that all the marketing stuff that we saw for it always had male Shepard on the cover. So I just assumed that he was the de facto hero planned for the series. So I always just played with the male version of Shepard. Now I've gotten that off my chest. The Mass Effect Legendary Edition promises to bring the original trilogy into the future with improved graphics, better load times, and a host of other designs meant to balance overall gameplay. One of those promises includes ensuring a consistent look for the female version of Commander Shepard across the trilogy, something that wasn't quite possible in the past. Alright, so to better explain this, in the original Mass Effect trilogy, the game's character creation tools advanced as the trilogy itself progressed. So game by game, the character creation tools got better. It offered more options and details that weren't available in the first two games, and this often made it difficult to maintain a consistent appearance, especially for FemShep, across all three of the games. BioWare has also listed improved makeup features and hairstyles for FemShep, as well as expanded choices for skin colors and textured hairstyles to make for a more diverse, consistent, and representative character building experience. Alright, so let's just put it this way. The original Mass Effect 1, building a female character was an adventure. Building a female character that actually looked good was even a bigger adventure. I get it. They tried. The game is from 2007. And I feel like things were on the cusp of making that next breakthrough. Master RBG in the chat. Can she have a mohawk afro? What is a mohawk afro? What is that? But yeah. Anyway, I remember watching my friend try to make a female character because I got her into Mass Effect, and she was trying to make a female character, and she had the hardest time trying to make something. But I think it took her more time in the actual character creation screen than it took for her to play the entire game to get a decent looking female character, and that's sad. But the good news is the iconic version of FemShep fans have come to know and love only made her marketing debut with the release of Mass Effect 3. So yeah, that FemShep that we visualize in our head, that was only around since ME3. And how that came to be is just a little bit of an off-putting upon reflection. Quick trivia. In 2011, BioWare began holding a contest on its official Facebook page, allowing fans to vote between 6 images to determine the canon appearance for the female Commander Shepard. Fans had long come to know and expect male Shepard's face in the franchise's marketing and packaging, as it had not changed much over the course of the trilogy. For a lot of players, it seemed as though there wasn't even an option to play Mass Effect with a de facto female heroine. At the end, the votes were tallied, and it seemed the fans wanted a blonde version of Shepard to represent female players. But the fact of the matter was, no version of Shepard created in the game was ever going to look that way that the version did. It caused a lot of controversy among the gaming community, and FemShep supporters rallied around their heroine, arguing that she should get her due, and that the beauty pageant nature of voting to choose her appearance went against everything FemShep stood for as a strong, capable woman. For plenty of players, she was better than Shepard in a lot of ways. Hey Logan, did you see the video of Jennifer Hale, the voice actress for FemShep? And did you see her reaction when she saw the reveal?
I did, yeah.
Are you muted again? I don't think I hear you.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, yeah. I've lost audio. I swear, it's a night tonight.
It's a night. It is a night. Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, now I got you.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Man, it was freaking awesome. Like, she was on the verge of tears.
That's kind of moments like that. And I remember Christopher Judge watching his the callback to him at
Kratos.
God of War.
Good catch, man. Good catch. All right. Let's see. To sum this up, in a recent interview with BioWare developers, it was also noted that in the original trilogy, there were often scenes that didn't translate well between male and female shepherds. While there weren't always ways to change the animation to reflect upon those scenes, BioWare could change the camera angle to less objectify towards characters like Mass Effect 2's companion, Miranda.
Yeah.
Man, those were the most unflattering camera angles. It was almost like, man, were y'all developing this game for 15-year-old boys?
They were Cyberpunk. There were dicks just everywhere, you know.
Yeah, true. I mean, but then again, like the Paramore scene between Shepard and Miranda. Hey, you know what? That's when those camera angles mattered.
Very true. Very true.
Alright. However, BioWare couldn't completely redesign Miranda. You know, honestly, I'm glad they didn't mess with her character that much. You know, like they didn't retouch her and stuff like that because I'd seen other people's concepts and takes of what Miranda should have looked like, and I felt like it was just completely different from what she was representing the game. So I'm glad they didn't tool her character model.
Yeah, you did a great job with that.
Yeah. Now. I am a little upset though because apparently they couldn't really do a lot with the Asari, and was it just me or did it seem like all the Asari seemed like they were cookie cutters or cut and paste?
Yeah, I mean it felt very.
They look the same.
Unoriginal.
Yeah. Yeah. And also the Mass Effect AI icon Edie. You know what though? I liked her appearance in Mass Effect 3. I did, you know, it wasn't too bad, you know, but you know, like she was voiced by Trisha Helfer, so you know, like whatever wasn't left, you know, on the screen, we had our imaginations to take us a little bit further than that. Gamer demographics have changed significantly in the last 13 years, but completely overhauling all these characters wasn't the feasible choice for the scope of the Legendary Edition remaster. Ideally, BioWare will keep the changes in mind as it continues to develop the Mass Effect franchise. Honestly, basically, this last paragraph basically lets us know that once they get this Legendary Edition remaster out the way, that's it. Like the Ballad of John, or what's the female shepherd's first name? And please don't tell me it was Jane. Please don't tell me it was Jane.
It's been forever since I played. Honestly, the last Mass Effect game I played was Andromeda. I cannot remember.
I'm sorry, I'm out of help. I have not played any Mass Effect games.
Oh yeah? Oh well, you're in for a treat. You're playing. You're gonna play Legendary, right?
Well,
wait, was it?
So.
Wait, Hyperion Overwatch was like it's Jane Shepard. Are you for real? It's Jane Shepard. I just guessed. They might as well just name him John Smith. Jeez.
Whoever was in charge of naming was watching Grey's Anatomy, saw Derek Shepard, was like, yeah, you know what? That sounds like a great last name.
Man, oh man.
I'm going to call him McDreamy.
Man, oh man. Well, anyway, it goes without saying, I'm completely amped for the Mass Effect Legendary Edition remaster. I'm amped for it. It's a day one purchase for me. There's no way I'm skipping it. And I do apologize to you guys out there on the stream. I'm not sure what's going on with my audio tonight. It's just been weird. Like the stream's outputting in 720p. I do apologize for that as well. We'll get it all right for episode 24. Looks like I have a weekend of streaming to do. All right, so it's time for our big topic. And our big topic is we're circling back to Crash Bandicoot because it is the 25th anniversary for Crash this year. And According to Activision, there's fun happenings in the works for Crash Bandicoot's 25th anniversary. All right. I mentioned earlier in the show, a native PS5 version of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, was announced, but that won't be the only thing that you see from Activision this year, as the publisher gears up to celebrate the famous character's 25th anniversary. Teased in a Business Wire article, the series will have other fun happenings throughout the year to celebrate the Bandicoot's milestone birthday. The site's short stop of revealing any more information, but it appears there could well be more in store for fans of the franchise.
It's coming to Fortnite. Everything else is coming to Fortnite. It's coming to Fortnite. Let's do it.
I like
Crash for Smash, now that it's being released on Nintendo, he's going to be everywhere.
See, I want Crash in Smash so badly. I wanted it to happen. Smash Ultimate's like, everybody will be here.
It'd be fun to fight Crash, Mario, and Sonic all together.
Now, just so everybody knows, like, we need to curb our enthusiasm because there's nothing planned for a return of Crash Bash.
Which is a crime in and of itself.
Unfortunately, no. During an exclusive interview with creative producer Lou Steddard, PushSquare.com posed the question of whether it too will make the triumphant return. The Toys for Bob employee simply laughed and responded, "That's a question for another person. I honestly don't know. It has its fans, and it's a fun game, but there's nothing planned right now for Crash Bash." I don't know. That kind of sounds like the Nintendo answer for a few things, doesn't it?
Just not answering it whatsoever. You guys coming out with a Switch Pro? Well, hardware is made at Nintendo.
A non-answer is an answer. Alright, so I'll pose this to you guys. What would you like to see from Crash Bandicoot in 2021? If it's not Crash Bash, then why are we even playing around?
I want to see another Crash racing game. Like, Crash Team Racing was really, really good, and I mean, they're still supporting it, but it was like the only racing game that had such an awesome single-player mode.
Mm-hmm. Logan, because you played damn near every Crash Bandicoot game. Like, did you like a lot of the offshoot ones, like Wrath of Cortex?
Yeah, those are fun. I think if there's something I want though, is that give me like all boss battles. Like, so some of my favorite members of the game are all the boss battles. But like, if there was just a boss battle mode, that could be fun. Mm-hmm. And I actually would like to see it in Fortnite. I mean, as much crap as all their events have been great. They're doing a Flash one right now that is so much fun. And I think especially because, like, I grew up on Crash, right? And so I played every single one of them as a kid. A lot of the kids who are playing games right now haven't experienced Crash Bandicoot the way I did, and I would love to see more younger gamers go out and play it and get frustrated with it and have the fun with it that we did. So it's like, put it in Fortnite, and I think that gives you a new generation of fans for Crash.
Yeah, I wonder if they would do like I don't know what to expect, considering they just like came out with another mainline game. Like, what else can they do with Crash?
That's true.
Already have like all the remasters, which I've played every Crash Bandicoot game as well, and I think 3 will always be my favorite. But yeah, like I just don't know what to expect. This is so interesting to hear that they have like big plans.
Yeah. It's interesting to watch. I don't know, like they just put a proper sequel out, so I doubt there's a brand new game coming. So unless they're going to start remastering the offshoot games, which is a possibility,
I mean, what about a Coco only game? We haven't had that.
Oh wow!
I mean, this would be the time to do it. This would definitely be the time to do it. Or like, not even a full-blown game. Do like a Miles Morales version of Crash Bandicoot where it's like a shortened version. It's still got a good stuff to it. And give Coco her own. You have to introduce a new villain within that. Like, you couldn't use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not like some gimmicky mobile game crap. Like that would that would really suck.
You know what? Now that you said it, it's probably going to be put into creation.
I should not have put that out in the universe.
I sometimes, or like I say, if you build it, they will come. Like if you speak it, it will become reality. All right, all right. So we're gonna take a quick pause for a second because I need Logan's attention for his rumor control. But just real quickly, Dan, what was the most exciting thing for you for last year in gaming?
And please, all of gaming in 2020?
Yeah, and please don't tell me Animal Crossing.
No, I didn't even think I would like Animal Crossing, and I loved it. Nothing really got me that hyped in 2020 for gaming. Like actually, you know what? Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was the first game I was like really excited about. I was happy about Xenoblade coming out, but aside from that, like nothing really made me like I can't remember the last time I was that excited for a game as when Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. So I'll go with that.
It's funny because I wanted to play Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I was holding out for the PC version, and the only reason why I even started playing it is because like I took advantage of Target's buy two get one free sale, and I actually picked up a copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake and started playing on the PS5, and then I was like, geez, why did I wait so long to play this game? Just the soundtrack, alone, like just like sucks you in and puts you back in like what year was that? 1995. 96?
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear, like that music.
Yeah.
That music hooked me. That music. So yeah. Yep. My favorite moment in gaming for 2020 was probably the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh, nice.
Actually, wait, did Mega Man 11 come out at the beginning of 2020, or did it come out at the end of 2019? I can't remember.
It came out in like 2018.
Is that old?
Yeah.
Is that old? No. I know. I remember beating it when it was new.
It was 2018. I'm almost positive.
Look at you, man. You were right. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, you're right because it was Mega Man 11, Monster Hunter World, and Resident Evil 2 remake that year.
Yep.
And then Devil May Cry was it right at the beginning of 2019? I think it was, yeah. Yeah, I think it was.
Man, I gotta say, I've been playing Mega Man 11. I beat it twice in the last month. It's a
great game. It's a great game. Are you getting close to becoming a speedrunner in that game, or are you just a technique runner?
Yeah, right now we're technique. Maybe if I keep playing it because I still have the itch. I'm like, man, that's so good. Like, and I keep putting the difficulty up.
My favorite overdrive is the weapon is that spike weapon where it's basically like an extended dash, but he'll go in a straight line and he'll stick the walls.
Pile driver.
Yes,
that's a good one. I like the fire one too.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's
that to be like that and the electricity one. Those are like the most useful in that game.
Oh yeah, for real. All right, so rumor control is going to be interesting tonight. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So the rumor mill says that EA will be deciding if Anthem lives or dies this next week. Aren't you glad you came back for tonight's show, Logan? We're talking about everything you love tonight.
I know. It's like I think I'm the one guy who generally loved Anthem. It's weird. I still play it once in a while. I mean, it's not that bad. I'm gonna get playing worse games.
All right, let me just get through this real quickly, and I'll give you my thoughts real fast on Anthem. And you guys are probably gonna look at me in like sheer disgust. Following the game's incredibly shaky launch in February of 2019, a big Anthem overhaul has been in the works at BioWare since at least early 2020. now it's apparently time for EA to step in and see whether he thinks that the project is still worth backing. According to a new Bloomberg report, I wonder who reported that one. The publisher will, at some point this week, evaluate Anthem next. They put that in quotes, and decide whether or not to cancel the whole thing. If Anthem next meets EA's expectations, then it's supposedly prepared to expand BioWare's team. The pressure's on, to say the least. Okay, so I was all in for Anthem. The only problem was there was a Mass Effect Andromeda game out there, and Mass Effect is honestly the driving force behind like my love for BioWare properties. Like I compare all BioWare games I play to Mass Effect, which means at certain points Dragon Age has suffered because of my fealty for Mass Effect. So imagine, like Andromeda's coming. We also know Anthem's coming, and is made by the main team that's responsible for Mass Effect. So I'm like, yeah, like I'm getting Anthem. I get Andromeda, and Andromeda has up to that point, Andromeda had one of the worst. Actually, no, it wasn't as bad as like Assassin's Creed Unity, but it was a bad launch. It was a bad rollout for them. So just imagine, you're starting to hear like the analysis and the deep dives of what went wrong with Andromeda, and you come to find out they stripped the team so badly that they were pulling people from the development team for Andromeda to work on Anthem. Yep. So that right there, my disappointment with Andromeda led me to say I do not want to play Anthem at all, and it was only because they pulled assets away that hurt Andromeda to the point where, and Anthem apparently did not have the best launch either. Right. So, it's like, I could have helped you guys out, but you guys should have gave me a proper Mass Effect game and not stole all the resources for it. So that's my take on it. How about you guys?
The game's gotten a lot better. It really has. Hey, it's still short. It's still very repetitive. But if you take it for what it is, all right, it's not the worst game ever made. I really hope that they continue, because at the core, you have a really, really cool idea with the exosuits. The actual main story is really not bad at all. You have a cool idea. You just have to build on that. You can't just let it fall.
Yeah.
More events and stuff in the open world, and bring in Titan. When they introduced Titans, I think there was like first or second update. It was so much fun because you never knew what was going to appear. When you did, and if you weren't with a group of 4 people, you were screwed. You needed to have that friends. You needed to have that teamwork, and it was so much fun. So bring it back.
Dan, what do you say?
I haven't given Anthem a fair chance at all, or really any chance. So I.
Okay, so you're just like me.
The other gaming community.
I will go ahead and punt this one back to you guys.
Okay, so I'm going with the rumor control part of this conversation. I feel like this game has like a 60% chance of getting a second lease on life from EA. The reason why I say this is because, with all the shakeups that are happening at BioWare right now, EA wants to be able to show, the gaming community that it still has faith in, BioWare is, one of the darlings of the gaming industry. So, I feel like EA, and also EA is starting to learn their lessons from, just cutting off all these other developers. I'm still raw about Visceral Games.
Yeah.
I'm still raw about the Bad Company team disappearing. And I'm still raw about how they screwed over Amy Hennig after she left Naughty Dog and Sony.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think EA is learning their lessons that they need to navigate their PR nightmares a little bit better, or they won't have a customer base in the future. So I feel like there's a 60% chance that Anthem's going to get a second lease on life, and if this one goes bad for them, then Anthem's probably not going to happen ever again.
They have to come out with something more than a flashy trailer. I mean, they have to have hardcore good gameplay right out the gate.
Yeah.
I would give Anthem a second life just because the core of the game is really, really good, and the overall idea is awesome. You just need to step into that a little bit more. Step into the weirdness. Step into the Guardian or the Guardian aspect of it, and just run with it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'll put this out to the audience. What do you all make of this? Would you like to see Anthem return? Maybe you think that the game should have been scrapped ages ago. Hit us up at PS_Crossroads. Let us know what you think, and continue the conversation with us over on social media. All right, so it's time to wrap this thing up. So I got to ask you guys, what have you guys been playing this past week? I can tell you right now, I've been playing the Monster Hunter Rise demo, and I've been re-attempting Horizon Zero Dawn. There you go.
18 seconds in, ladies and gentlemen. He found his focus, thought that was the game, and
Hey,
LeRon,
there's new Monster Hunter in my hands right now. So every game is in trouble right now.
Hey, you know who else also in Monster Hunter? Aloy. There's a DLC
on the PS4. I'm playing the PC version, buddy.
Sorry, I'm one of the cool kids. They're the nerds.
I swear, you sound like what's her name from Mean Girls. You can't sit with us.
Another bad thing Ed had is that movie's bad. I just
Okay, I'm gonna say though, the "you can't sit with us" people are typically the PC gamers.
But you know what? I am not that type of snob, though.
You are the coolest PC gamer I've met.
Yeah, far away.
Most of them live in the basement with their mom.
Wow, you're throwing shots.
And they always sound like they have phlegm, like always in their nasal cavity.
Yeah, screw it.
I swear they're gonna be all up in my mentions tonight. I know it.
It's like that scene in Benchwarmers, where their mom walks by with a big old thing of urine. It's like, is that apple juice?
Oh no! Oh no!
Allergic to the sun. Oh, man.
Anyway, so I've been playing. I've been traveling, so I haven't been on my PlayStation very much. However, I'm playing a game that might get me thrown off this show. I'm trying to give Final Fantasy VIII another chance. And it's not going.
Try. It's not going to go well.
It's not going great. It's just so tedious and...
Yeah, it is.
There's so much wrong with this that we could focus a whole episode on that, but
yeah.
So I tried giving it a fair shot and I gave up, and I've been playing. I played Mega Man just to trying to get me to the weekend because I want to play Mario 3D World. So that's me.
Nice. I've been playing Steep. Ubisoft open world extreme sports game because I've
been watching some of your streams on that too.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Getting ready for Rough Riders. There's a beta coming up for it. I'll be in that and cannot wait. Really, really curious to see exactly how the BMX element comes into it. But yeah, prepping that. I've been playing MLB The Show and then Horizon. So, yeah.
How is MLB The Show? How is it?
I'm frustrated just because, my character with the sliders and all that good stuff, I can't hit a curveball in that game to save my life. But as soon as I get a fastball, take a yard every time. But
Patience.
Road to the Show is just, it's so much fun, but I hate it at the same time.
Oh, we should play sometime.
We should totally play, yeah, heck yeah, man. And by the way, shout out to Tatis Jr. for getting on the cover for 2021.
Oh yeah,
that's a cool cover.
Actually, it's a really cool cover.
I was like, God dang, you finally upgraded. Now we're going to Xbox.
All right, well, guys, that's our show for tonight.
Boom.
First of all, I want to give both of you guys a big thanks for helping me out with the show tonight. I mean, some things came up and, it looked like I was going to be soloing this sucker today. But, I appreciate you guys. And, of course, like you need me for LAN Party, Logan. You guys need me for Power Block, Dan. Like, I'm there. I'm there. I got you guys. All right. We'd like to give a big thanks to you for tuning in our live show tonight. And we also want to take the time right now to thank you if you're listening to us on podcast when this goes live on Thursday. So we appreciate that as well. Before we cut out here for the night, hey crew, where can we find you guys at? Give us some plugs. Dan, go first.
You can find me on Twitter at DCDM99.
All right. Oh, and by the way, Dan, I love watching your freaking Mario Maker streams. You know what? You're the one person I can say that I know in real life that actually has the patience to play those levels.
I drink too much whiskey when I stream too.
So it's crazy you haven't started hurling obscenities yet.
Yeah, so the gameplay isn't quite where it should be with my Mario Maker, but it is just fun to kind of hang out and talk to you guys while I'm playing. So
yeah, you put it on a perfect time. Sunday night streaming is probably Sunday nights is probably the one time that I usually check out a lot of different streams. Like I'm always catching Arsenal. Even though Arsenal's gone on break right now, but I usually catch Arsenal on Sunday nights. And in the last couple of weekends, because you were doing it at the same time Arsenal was doing it, I had like multiple streams on. So it was fun, and yeah,
that's the only night I want to stream too, because I don't know, for some reason I don't want to do it during like weekdays or weekends. So I'm like, yeah, Sunday night Mario Maker, let's do this.
It's funny because like Sunday night's the night I don't want to stream. Like when I first started streaming, like Sunday night was on my schedule, and I immediately like got turned off from it. Logan, where can we find you at, man?
Find me on Twitter at Logan Corkins, or just check out the LAN Party podcast on PRG, wherever you get your podcast. We got a good episode coming up on Wednesday, y'all. Diggity came on.
Oh, yes.
And, it went places. That's all I can tell you.
God. Did he live up to his Luscious Brody nickname?
Oh, God. Oh, I was totally going to call him Luscious Brody, too. We created an OnlyFans. We went down the OnlyFans route. I remember.
Oh God!
And Austin came out with Only Puss.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you can imagine where that went. I really, man, it's a trip. It's a trip of an episode. I can just tell you that.
Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait for it. All right. And as usual, you can catch me on social media at Exodus803. That's EXODUS803. It's also my Twitch handle. I thank you guys for watching us tonight. Also, my YouTube channel is official now. So check me out on YouTube.com. Look up Exodus803. It's the link with the purple and white avatar, not the other thing that looks like an E. Please don't click that one. You won't like what you see. All right, and also, just a reminder, head over to BossRushGames.com and take a look at at all the content Boss Rush has to offer. Palblock speculates whether Mario plus Rabbids sequel was in the works in episode 231. Our wonderful Celeste Roberts has a Q&A session with Andy Barney of Zeldom, a Legend of Zelda lore YouTube channel, in the latest episode of 1v1. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'll do you guys a solid right now. I will put the links to those in the Twitch chat before we sign off real quickly if you want to check those out. Don't forget about our other shows and editorials, and if you really do love us, come be one of the community over at our Discord, simply called Boss Rush Games. Link will also be provided in the Twitch chat tonight. You can chat with us and keep the conversation going by hitting us up on Twitter at PS_Crossroads on Twitter. And where we will hold it down with more news, events, and topics. And we've also got a nice little growing community over on our Twitter. So check it out, That's our show for tonight, though. So the Bossers Games family wants you all to have a good night and get out there, play games, be better. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next week.
Video.